Hi, it's Gadget UK here again. If you saw the previous video there on the Pocket PC, you might want to skip past this, unless you're specifically interested in how to get one of these batteries working again on a 360 controller. But it's the same process that I showed in that previous video there. So I'll start by showing you the standard technique that people typically use to get these working, but that is not what the purpose of this video is. There is a different technique that I'll show you in a minute. But the standard technique is to use a paper clip, bend the legs there, and what people do normally, you'll see loads of videos on this where they short from the second pin there to the fifth pin here, so it's the second one in and over here the second one in. Short those two pins together on an almost flat battery. The paper clip gets hot because you're shorting out the battery contacts there, so yeah, I don't like that approach, but nevertheless it can work. And then the other thing that they usually do is short from the first pin here to the fifth one, and then short from the second one to the sixth one. That technique, you'll see lots of videos on that. It's like I say, I'm not condoning that technique. It does actually work. I've used that when my battery was a bit younger, but this battery is a good 4 or 5 years old now. Now this has been left unused for about 6 to 12 months actually, and I came to charge it. I'll show you in a minute, but you plug it in, the LED comes on and it goes off as if it's charged, and it isn't. It's completely flat. And as you can see, the charge cable is plugged in there and it indicates it's charging. But if you just leave this for several seconds, it goes green and the battery is not charged. It's completely flat, and I can show you that. We'll measure it in a minute and you'll see it's 0 volts. So it did take about 20 seconds actually before the green light came on, but I guarantee this is not charged. I just want to show you the behaviour that you plug it in, it goes red, 20 seconds later or less it'll go green. There we go. So hopefully you can see the meter as well, and if we measure from the second contact to the contact over there, you'll see 0 volts, nothing, nada, zip, 0, nothing. So that battery is absolutely completely dead. And just like in the last video, all we need to do is take something like an adjustable bench power supply like this. We'll set this to about 2 volts. That should be about right. I'll measure it on my multimeter to make sure it's 2 volts. This is limited to around half an amp, which is fine. Up to an amp would be okay. And then all we need to do is wear some protective goggles at the very least. Something like this hasn't got a lot of power, it's not a lot of capacity in here, so yeah, it could still explode, it could still set on fire, but I've done enough small batteries like this to know that the chances are very slim, but I will wear goggles nevertheless. And if you're going to do something like this, do it on a hard concrete surface somewhere like in a garage or something outside. Outside is ideal. Then if it does set on fire or something, it's not going to be a problem. But the chances are pretty slim. But nevertheless, I have to mention that these can explode and you can start a fire by doing this. So at the very least, do wear goggles and do it outside. So the second contact on the left here is the positive. So you just want to temporarily, hold your clip on there, and the ground is the second contact from the right. Just for like 10 to 20 seconds, and just make sure after a few seconds it's not getting warm. It shouldn't get warm, just check after a few seconds, and then repeat that for a good 20 to 30 seconds. And as long as your battery's not getting warm from that process, you'll be okay. So after 20 seconds of a boost there, can you see? It's up to 1.2 volts there. So it's now just a case of connecting this up to the controller as usual, and just charge it via the charge cable. And the LED should stay red for a prolonged period of time while it charges. But don't charge it unattended, do keep checking on it, but I would suggest after about 3 or 4 hours the light will go off and it will be good as new. So this had about 3 hours of charge actually before it went off, and I'll show you if I get these around the right way. We've got a voltage there now, good voltage, just under 2.6 volts. Now this has been left overnight since it was charged yesterday, but you can see we've got just around 2.6 volts there. Now bear in mind, when one of these is brand new, you'd expect to measure about 3 volts on a fully charged part there, maybe up to 3.3 volts. So the fact I'm getting around 2.6, just dropped a bit overnight there, shows that this battery's not got much life left in it. But as long as I keep it charged up, it should, it works okay. I've been using this, no problems at all. Played for an hour last night on it without an issue. So you can just get a little bit extra life out of these rather than having to rush out and replace it. But obviously the safer, better option really is just go and buy a new one. But this could just get you out of a fix. You might not be able to get to the shops or something, or maybe you can't get a battery for your system anymore. Because you could do the similar sort of thing with other systems and things. I guess this technique may work on a PS3 battery. no idea. I don't know whether they suffer from the same issue, but Xbox controllers are renowned for having this problem where you just let them go flat and then you can't charge them again. And as I say, giving it a boost like that, you do lose a little bit of capacity there. It'll never be 100% the same again, but it was just binnable as it was, so at least we got something rather than nothing. I guarantee I'll get a number of hours usage out of this every time it charges now. You know, I'll get 3, 4, 5 hours of gameplay out of it, whereas a brand new one might last several hours, might 7 or 8, 9 hours or more. Sweet, as you can see, connected okay. Hopefully you found it interesting. Thanks for watching, I'll see you soon.